in the downstream sector in Nigeria, a lot of fuel station operators use manual operations. Cash is collected physically, and the way that they balance their accounts is done manually as well. So what can technology do to streamline the operation of what you're seeing on your screen right now? Purchasing fuel and also the accounting that goes with it. We're very happy to have Ayodeji Ogundiran, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Fuelmetrics Limited. Good morning to you, sir. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. Break this down. Explain this to me. What does Fuelmetrics do?
Okay, good morning. Thank you for having me. Fuelmetrics, we provide end-to-end technology for filling station operators, for operators in the downstream industry, right? Take an average filling station. A lot actually goes on in the operation of a filling station, right? You're going to start from procurement, how do you source your product, to logistics, moving the product from the depot down to your station, your safety process in delivery, when you're taking delivery of your product, what is being discharged from the tank, is that what you're receiving in your underground? Before you now go to that public-facing part where you're dealing with the pumps and your customers and the likes. So if you don't have a technology like ours, like ePump, which we provide, it means you'll be depending on human element, right? Human element would make mistake, either genuinely because, you could make mistake, you're dealing with a lot of numbers here, or also because they could take advantage. So if, on an average station, company maybe has minimum of 5 stations. Well, there are some that have 1, there are some that have 2, but let's use 5. If you have 5 stations, you can't be in all the 5 stations at the same time, right? So you're going to need to either depend on people or depend on technology. What has been done in the past is mostly people will depend on people. You can argue that I trust the person in station 1. Were you going to be able to trust the person in station 2, station 70, station 500? And that's where technology comes into play.
Fantastic. Okay, perfect example now. You said 5 or 70 stations across. So you've got a hardware solution and a software solution. Is that right? So explain the hardware side.
Okay, so because we try to take away that human element, we don't want someone reporting to you to say this is what we sold. Rather, we want to be able to talk to your equipment. So the first thing first, we install IoT equipment into your pumps. So these equipment are connecting directly to your pump. Every transaction that is made on the pump is recorded. You sold 5 liters, you sold 10 liters, you sold 100 liters. All of it is recorded and then sent to a cloud platform, right? Where you, as the station owner or management, can access it from your laptop, from your mobile app. As long as you have internet connectivity, you know what's going on in your station. That's for the pump. There's also the part of the tank. What's in my tank? When I receive new inventory, what did I receive? And stuff like that. There's also the bit of payment. It's one thing to know I sold 10,000 liters. The next question then becomes, where's the money? Right? ePump can connect to your POS, connects to your bank account. So we can give you that dashboard that tells you end to end, oh, this is how much you've made, this is where it is, this is what's missing, this is what needs to be accounted for.
So all on the dashboard.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I just thought about something. I just thought about how Nigerians have been trying to figure out what goes into the fuel template that makes up the cost of fuel that we pay for at the pump whenever the prices go up and down. So theoretically speaking, you could solve that problem for us, right? Fuelmetrics could put in, as far as the fuel templates, when we get fuel in, when we import fuel that has been refined from overseas, when it gets discharged to the fuel tankers that take them to the different parts of the country, and then the price that ends up on the pump. Theoretically, you could break that down, right?
I think that's not a problem even outside us.
Yeah.
The government is clear about their pricing template. We know what the landing costs are. We know what each fees are levied by each segment. We know what the transportation costs are and all of that. The challenge with fuel is not about the template. It's about the fact that, one, fuel is a liquid product, right? So it's not like when I'm selling physical product. If I was selling laptop, I can tell you, oh, I have 10 laptops in stock. If I say I have 10 liters in stock, what exactly does 10 liter mean? Yeah. It could mean different things depending on the metrology method I'm using to measure, right? And because of that, there could be loss in visibility. You could, it's easy for me to tell you this is what you're selling on your pump, and in actual fact, it's not. Yeah. So it's not about the pricing template. I think the pricing template, everybody knows the pricing template. Let's be honest, we know fuel is not exactly price expensive in Nigeria. Right. It's Forex that makes it look a bit expensive. I don't think we have a challenge with that, but To answer the question, yes, I mean, all of that can be factored into the dashboard on ePump, such that you can have visibility and say, okay, this is what I'm
So theoretically, the government can contract Fuelmetrics to streamline their process. It's possible. That's fantastic. See, the conversation here is about how technology, we're just talking about insecurity in the prior segment and how it can just solve issues. You mentioned Forex though. Any challenges on your end in terms of the manufacturing of the hardware, how you bring it in, cost pressures and all that?
Oh, okay. So because in Nigeria, we don't have that capacity to do manufacturing. You can do your design here. You can say this is what my engineering is going to look like. But when it comes to fabrication, you're going to depend on other countries. And those countries will not deal with you in Naira. Right? So I think it's a general problem for most companies whose products are imported. We are not immune from that as well. Yeah.
I mean, Sam Altman is, because of chip fabrication, that's why he's visiting Korea right now, meeting with Samsung and SK Hynix and so on and so forth.
That's correct.
Are states receptive to this? Are you mostly in Lagos, or what's your footprint like?
Okay, so we deal mostly with businesses, not states at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So because of the nature of stations, take for example, you pick a brand. That brand is probably likely to have stations across maybe 20 states, or maybe all the 36 states. So when such a brand engages us, of course, we have to deploy everywhere. So as of today, we have stations in every state of the country using ePump.
Fantastic. Just about a minute to go. Are you flexible enough to transition to electric vehicles? So, I mean, if people are, what's your renewable energy vision with what you guys are doing? Okay,
because if you look at it, we are more on the measurement and sales part. We are also actually building electric chargers, which can be deployed commercially or in your home, whatever the case may be. So we know it with Nigeria, it's not there yet. It's a journey for Nigeria, and we are making that transition internally. By the time Nigeria is ready to really transit from fossil fuel to EVs, yes, ePump will be there to provide those same technology as well.
So here's another thing. Does it benefit you with a more deregulated downstream sector?
I think it benefits everyone when the industry is deregulated. It benefits the government, it benefits the operators, it benefits the customers, right? Today it's deregulated, but is it really deregulated?
Hey, that's the question.
We still have a kind of almost monopolistic supply chain. And if you go out today, you see that, permitting to mention brand,
of course,
NNPC sells at least 32 Naira cheaper than most other brand out there.
Right, and that's why there's fuel queues wherever there's an NNPC station and not elsewhere, and that causing traffic all over the place.
Yes, so deregulation is supposed to solve that, but it's not solving that because of Forex, right? NNPC is the only one who has that access to Forex at the rate that is competitive to the market, and NNPC is the one bringing most of the product till date. So we are looking forward to when the local refineries come on board, and then there won't be that Forex constraint to suppliers. Suppliers will be able to get their own product from any of the refineries. I believe in local currencies, and maybe by then we will be able to really enjoy the benefit of the regulation.
Speaking of refineries, how do you feel about the Dangote refinery and what it could mean for the country?
Personally, I'm eager. I'm hopeful that it streams as soon as possible. Of course, we've been made aware that they will start with diesel and aviation fuel. We're looking forward really to when they'll start refining and selling PMS to the public. Because, of course, number one, I think it will take a lot of Forex burden off the country. So some of the challenges we discussed earlier would probably be solved. And the issue of supply, even to the stations, there are stations today who are not able to get supply in time, in a good timeline. So when the local refinery, not just Dangote, when the Watersmith, when the government refineries, when they all come on board, we expect that the supply issue would be better addressed than what we have today. You know,
you mentioned aviation. I know you're doing fuel stations and vehicles and so on. Could you theoretically serve the aviation sector in terms of Jet A1 and the whole process of planes getting fuel as well? Yeah, because really you are dealing with liquid products. So the technology can adapt it to any of these products. That's what I love about tech. You can just apply it to any. What's your outlook for this 2024?
So, I mean, like you said, we're looking forward to a scenario where the refineries come on board and the industry gets really liberated, right? And then, well, of course, there's going to be more element of competition. Right. And with competition, there'll be need for efficiency, and that's where people like us, like ePump, come into place. We give you technology as a brand to be able to manage operations end to end, know how much fuel you're selling, be able to change your prices remotely. Let me tell you something. If you have 100 stations today, and for some reason the market dynamics changes, you're going to send engineers to all of your 100 stations to go and manually change each of those pumps. With our technology, you don't need to do that. On your laptop, you just say, oh, for this region, I'm selling at this price. For this state, I'm selling at this price. And in another 2 minutes, all of your pump prices are updated.
Look, these are the conversations we should be having. Innovators like yourself that are solving problems using technology. Mr. Ayodeji Ogundiran, who is the CEO of Fuelmetrics Limited, thank you for enlightening us this morning. We appreciate your time.